Welcome to the Torment of Tantalus on Wormhole Extremists. I'm with Evie.
That would be me.
And Nicole.
Hello.
And I'm David Reed. Welcome to the show. We have arrived at what proved to be my first favorite episode of SG1. Paul McGillion, everyone.
Reason.
Yeah, Carson Beckett.
Paul McGillion with a Canadian accent.
Absolutely.
This is a magical start.
It really is. I actually really like that they've gone back in time.
The manual dialing is also one of my favorite parts of Stargate. Like every time it's like, hey guys, you have to manually dial. I'm like, oh it's getting serious because it's slower. It's like, it's against the clock. It always feels very.
Yeah. I love how it's just gone from color to archival, like black and white footage. That's so cool.
I think this whole episode is just filmed so beautifully.
And
I had a minor gripes that I will mention later.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, for those who aren't aware, the title refers to the Greek myth of Tantalus, who could never reach what he kept grasping for, which is actually the origin of the word tantalize. Obviously, Daniel Jackson is tantalized by the meaning of life stuff that he can't quite reach. And
doesn't Ernest mention the story as well?
He does.
He does
briefly.
Yeah.
But I forgot tantalize is the origin of
it is. Because in the myth, Tantalus is inflicted with intolerable hunger and thirst as punishment for his sins. I'm
sorry, but the Pentagon's lost entire countries. That's great.
It's a good joke.
It really is.
I like when they rip into themselves and this is a show that's fully endorsed by the Air Force and all that. And I think it's really funny when they make the occasional little joke. It's like, I'm glad that everyone has a good sense of humor.
It just seems a little unreasonable to me that, oh, by the way, here's a video that they never looked at, considering the nature of
it's
Area
a big
52
deal.
as it's known later. So
okay, my gripe is coming up, which is he's going to walk through right with the cables attached, and then
that was a rule that was added later.
Yeah.
So I actually need to add that to the retcons because there's a handful of them in the show, and that is definitely one of them.
Other than that, this episode I think is perfect.
Because you're correct. It's established in Atlantis in 38 minutes that an object will not proceed until
Oh no.
Yep.
I remember when I watched this as a kid, I was like, what?
And also the cable that Teal shoots through the gate in 100 days.
Yeah, that really bothered me too, but I just pretend it's fine.
But
we put these things aside. They're just plot devices.
I actually hadn't seen, so as I told you, I've seen Stargate in a stupid order where it's just all over the gaff. I hadn't seen the original film or Children of the Gods when I saw this episode. So when they're introducing Catherine and the old stuff, I was like, am I missing something? Is there something I should know?
You are missing something,
yeah. But I wasn't sure what I was missing. And I thought maybe I needed to fully experience, obviously I should fully experience the movie in the first episode before seeing this. However, at this time, I genuinely thought there was a previous whole storyline of that I just missed because I was like, why would they just, because I didn't understand TV when I was a kid fully, so I didn't appreciate the way that was built.
That's how I first got introduced to the Tolan and the Ashen. I saw the second episodes because I began to get a gap between the syndication and the Showtime run.
Right.
So I wasn't able to see it wasn't must-see television for me. It was, I would try to hit it and I would try to tape it on my videotape. And if something got wrong, then, I would miss it and it was okay. So,
I mean, previously on Stargate SG1 really helps.
Elizabeth Hoffman, everyone.
Yes.
And she is still with us.
She's 95 years old, guys.
Yep.
That's my goodness.
Impressive. That is impressive.
She's conquering COVID well.
Well, she's been staying away from it.
I was going to say, I'd say she's probably just locked down.
I went and saw her last year, and I can mention that briefly after this.
Wow.
So
she's just such a lovely older woman.
Yeah. I actually remember her from Dante's Peak.
Yep.
She was one of the first things I saw, which would have come out around the same time. It was 1997. So
yeah, I saw her in that first.
Yeah.
So it was 1996 because I went on a date with a little lass in that for that movie.
Oh, bless you.
So, yeah.
How did it go?
It was awkward. But we had a great time. We had a great time.
You would have been a young fella.
I was 13. I was 12. I was going to be 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sad we only see Catherine like once more.
Yep.
I know.
They were going to bring her back in Mobius, and she declined, and so they killed her.
Yeah. I always wondered if they'd killed her because she died in real life, and they thought it was a good like.
That's what I thought until I was
no.
researching this episode, and I was just like, "Holy cow, she's still alive! That's awesome."
Oh, she's got resentment for not being kept in the loop, and you would. It was her Stargate for crying out loud.
Yeah, she was there from the very beginning.
These two have such a lovely chemistry. Like the fact that they're not the original actors, and they have such a fantastic little bond from just the get-go is great.
She always considered you like a son.
Also, I don't know if this is a good time to bring up that Catherine's age is a little bit off. Because at some point she claimed she was 21 in 1945.
Yes.
However, she was at least 10, I think, when the gate was discovered in Egypt in 28.
Yeah, the math
that would make
works.
her about 27. Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1945 or older. So, but yeah, we put that aside.
It's hard to keep track of all those things. I've seen so many shows I love have little mistakes like that, and it's like, oh.
And obviously she's lost her Swedish accent from the film as well.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. She chose not to move forward with Vivica's accent, which, I mean, okay, but I'm like, come on. Make it as accurate as you can, guys.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, lovely Paul McGillion.
Yep.
He's so young.
It's actually mad that he like won't be back for like another 7 years then he's come back as a different character. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I was really pleased at how accurately they really pushed Catherine's likeness in Origins, because I was like,
you're right.
When Ellie Gall was hired, I was like, she doesn't have dark hair, and then I went and saw this episode. I'm like, oh wait, okay, there we go, that works.
Yeah, she's like a dark blonde.
The nuggets of SG1 sprinkled throughout Origins. There's many of them, and I helped put a few of them in.
The actress who plays
just a light brag
in 1969 has been in many episodes of Stargate. I will say, I don't like dislike her, but every time I saw her, I was always kind of thrown off. And I think every time I revisit her, because I've seen her as so many other characters,
it's Eli's mom.
Eli's mum.
Yeah.
I'm just
it is Eli's mom.
It just throws me off.
It's almost kind of like a game. It's like a game of like a bingo or something,
How many characters
are we in this episode? Are we in this episode?
Vancouver's only so big.
I actually have... Sorry?
Yeah.
Vancouver's only so big,
That's true. That's true.
It's grown immensely since.
I'm pretty sure I have facial blindness, so I actually don't recognize characters unless I've seen them multiple times in the same role. So it actually fools me most of the time.
And I have like the polar opposite of that, and it really gets me.
So even a lot of people in the fandom now don't realize that this is Paul McGillion. Like, they're like blown away when they realize it's the same character. Not same character, same actor.
Look how young and like he's always been pretty, but look how young and pretty he is.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Like he's clean shaven and like really like nerdy and cute. While like as Dr. Beckett, he just had this older wiseness to him, and he was fun and Scottish.
Yeah, fun and Scottish. Can I just say, apparently this pipe lighter that Senior Langford is using hasn't actually been patented for another 2 years.
Oh,
that's really cool.
And what a heck of a transition there. I love that transition.
Yeah, it's called a Nimrod pipe lighter.
Nimrod pipe lighter. I thought that was
kind
so
of
it's a little early. Thing. Okay. Well, he does work for the government. 2 years
before it was made and patented.
Ted just said Eli's mum from SGU. Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
Eli. Sounds like you're in an airplane.
Wasn't she one of the leaders on Jonas's
she was.
Homeworld as well?
Ambassador Nora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. He may still be alive.
As a hopeless romantic, this is like a great episode because of how sweet it is and how sad it is.
Yep.
And it's like never too late for love,
Yeah. I always just think from like Ernest's point of view, how awful it would have been to be so like disconnected on that planet. I can't even think of the mental torment that he went through.
I would personally have ended it sooner than waited all that time.
Lasted about 50 years?
Yeah, I think I would have made it like a good 10, 20 and then gone, now I'm done.
Yeah. The likelihood of him being alive is minute.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's, I guess, one of the gripes with the episode is that the planet just looks so desolate. Like, where is he getting food and water?
And hostile.
Yes.
Yeah. We never see where he's been eating, how he's been eating.
He has some weird fruit or something.
That's right. He does.
Daniel a piece of fruit. Yeah, he does.
But like, where did he get that from? It looks awful there.
It's everything's. I doubt he cultivated anything. Unless he managed to find some way of doing so. Yeah, it just has to grow local.
I'd say he lived off the land.
So he got really lucky. He does mention
exploring as far as he could walk, but yeah.
Yep.
This is so sweet. I love this moment. He's like, yes, we need to talk.
Yeah.
But Daniel's gonna Daniel.
Yeah.
I was supposed to show you any of this.
Breaking
he just doesn't care
for the truth.
This is what I would do.
She's not gonna tell anyone.
No.
We sold a set. We sold this set in the PropWorks. Yeah, we sold that in the PropWorks auctions, and they were complete.
Is that where you got the diary from?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We put it in live auction 1, and I bid on it, and I won it.
Oh wow! So, I was going to say whether you had like special privileges and.
I mean, I could have not listed it and just taken it, but that's not going to happen. So
no, it's not in the spirit of auctioning, really.
Correct.
Is it?
Well, and I wanted fans to have a shot. Everything that I have in my collection, if it's one of a kind, it either was already sold and I got it back, or there were 2 of them made. For production, as almost always there is. So
yes,
here we go. Hammond's.
I love how angry he is. It's really funny.
Well, this is early Hammond too. So.
Yeah,
and also he has to say these things. He has to be able to document that he had this meeting. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, the meeting is so cute with Teal. It's so sweet.
The slight little like head tilt.
It's the way that she just like appreciates like meeting.
She doesn't
him
question.
From another world.
She doesn't judge. She's just
no, she trusts Daniel. Daniel probably told him everything about Teal. So I do wish that we had her back in more episodes. So
honestly, it's the one thing that I really wanted for SG1 was to have more of her.
Jed Ted said maybe he learned to fish. That's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Very true, because I mean the ocean was right there.
He's a sharp guy. I mean,
he did have cables attached to the back of his suit.
Yep. So.
And some of them
interesting.
Made through them.
Yeah, you could have used the cables. I actually really like that.
Makes a sort of net rope thing.
Oh, I love that they have a connection. Like they
I think this is
previous.
What threw me off as well is that when I saw them like knowing each other and getting along, I was like, have I missed something?
Yeah, the movie.
No, but they didn't even interact in the movie. Like
Sam's not in the movie. That team was huge. So and they had
and that's the thing.
She was working at the Pentagon at the time, so she wasn't on site.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think I just expected, because I didn't realize how Stargate came to be.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, what?
No, I think I like that I like that they have a history that's off screen.
Yep.
How cute.
Only when it is appropriate.
Very cute.
I think Hammond's starting to soften.
He gets it. He's seen the future.
I was gonna say, like, I was talking to Jeff Golker, and he just finished season 2 the other day. He was like 1969 is like my favorite episode, and I was like, oh boy,
good, something I actually agree with him on.
It's a great show.
We've had some chats on that, and I'm looking forward to hearing more thoughts. But that was his favorite so far from season 2. I think his other favorite is Torment, Tantalus, and I was like, great taste, my man, great taste. Don't agree on everything, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like having Catherine go through the gate is so magical because she deserves it. She deserves the world.
Absolutely.
I do need to go watch Origins again because like my brain's kind of thrown now trying to remember all the.
Watch the movie version. It's much more satisfying.
I've only watched it, I think, once.
I watched.
And I don't even know if I finished it.
Marketplace as the movie, so it was the fastest way to like get
Piece of cake.
So
piece of cake. There's the probe.
Yeah.
This is one of those episodes that I love the idea of like being stuck in a bad place.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no enemies, there's no nothing. It's just the situation you're in is bad. Yeah. These are my favorite episodes because it's just the fear isn't that somebody's going to kill you. The fear is that you're not going to survive.
It's the Korai Hall.
Oh my god! Why would you say that?
Well, it is.
It's nuts.
That's so cool. I don't know if the goof happened right here, but somewhere RDA steps on a rock in front of the Stargate that's quite obviously made of styrofoam.
I don't think I've seen it yet. Okay.
It might be later on.
Hello.
I love how she walks out. It's like
be very uncomfortable, I think, he would have to be pretty hardy. This place does not look warm.
No, it doesn't look warm.
Didn't he say it was warm though? It was quite humid.
Oh, maybe.
I don't remember.
Keen
Which is why he's always naked.
Yeah.
Naked.
We lost King Curtis. Oh, it's been a few years now.
I was going to say, he's not with us anymore, is he?
No. Let's see.
So do you guys think that the activation of the Stargate precipitated the collapse of the castle, or the castle was already collapsing?
I think it really precipitated it. Ah.
I was going to say, I do love that they got there, and it just happens to start all going to crap the day they get there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, boy. Yeah, he passed away October 13th, 2002.
Whoa.
So it's been a while. Yeah.
Born
in 1923.
Man.
Yeah.
I graduated in 2002.
Me
That's
too.
Disturbing. Let's
high school.
Let's not.
Hello there. I love this reaction.
Yes, it is great, isn't it?
I was so excited to see that reunion when I was a kid that when it deflates, I was like, oh, okay. How do you recognize her? She's old. She looks so different.
He just takes off.
Just like a sassy little humph.
Maybe he's disappointed she's not that young woman anymore. He's like, hold on a second.
Don't even.
I always wondered actually if that was like if there was like he recognized her, but he was kind of like, you're not my Catherine, you know. I always wondered because obviously when he sees
could take
her in
it
his
that
head,
way, yeah.
So do you guys think that this castle was originally constructed more inland and the cliffs have like eroded away over time? Because otherwise it seems like a pretty weird spot for a group of, 4 very intelligent alien races to put it, right on the edge of a cliff like that.
We consider ourselves pretty intelligent. We put all kinds of things near a cliff.
Yeah, we do silly things.
We actually have.
We like the view.
Rating. Yeah,
but yes, there's going to be erosion. So
yeah.
I always found the architecture to be so weirdly inconsistent and consistent throughout the show for like everything. The walls here very much remind me of like, kind of like the interior of Gould spaceship wall type things.
Yeah,
like their doors.
It's all ancient influence. It all comes from that.
but like when you actually look at like Atlantis and the Asgard ships, it's like not very similar.
It's a different
in a lot
era
of ways
for Atlantis.
Yeah.
It's
but I also
newer.
found it weird when they have technology that's all like stone.
Uh-huh.
And not the funky cool stuff, that because obviously a lot of the stuff came after Atlantis as well. So when I see devices that came after, I'm like, this just doesn't seem to like add up.
This is where he slept.
See that weird ass fruit? Looks like a black bell pepper.
Yeah. So I was reading about this. Where did I see it? Yeah, so there's actually a really awesome article on the Companion by Karen Murray on the mythology of this episode. And she basically theorized that the Tantalus myth is acknowledged when Ernest offers Daniel this piece of fruit.
Really?
Tells him to eat it. Yeah, because it's a reminder of Tantalus's punishment for not being able to eat or drink. But it would probably also serve I guess, as a way to validify like Daniel's existence, that he's not just a figment of Ernest's imagination, that he's actually there.
Yep.
Ah, I like that. No, you don't. It's been a long time.
Not anymore.
That's another thing as well, like time does change people. She's not the same young, naive woman she was.
There's your prop.
Calendars. there's more pages there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I love how these guys just like instantly hit it off because they just have the same passion.
Daniel hits it off with so many people. The chemistry he has with everyone is amazing.
He's open,
Yeah.
He's just he just wants to take it all in, especially at this point in his
life. By season 9 and 10, he's a bit more impatient and done.
Heliopolis. That's where we get the name for this planet.
Many so it's one of the most ancient Egyptian cities and the seat of worship for the sun god Ra.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lockwatcher Keen Curtis also made his way into the Star Trek franchise, and I even remember him from MASH.
Yes, he was an episode of MASH. I did look that up.
I remember the Voyager episode that he was in. It's one of my favorites. So
I love the importance of this because, like, the Abydos cartouche is what everyone's been working off. And this is like the first example of the Gould not being the origin of stuff.
Yep. And next season we get a new library of addresses.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah.
At least he found a way to protect his mind from the loneliness.
Yeah. I don't know how.
Well, that's true. I mean, he did. That. Yeah. I mean, he did.
I'm not going to lie, his performance
Catherine was there, but
is so beautiful and haunting. It gets me every time. You can like kind of see the sadness in his eyes when he talks about stuff.
Yep. They're great together.
Yeah. This whole conversation here is like just going to crush me.
We didn't really get a conclusion on Ernest in the end, did we?
He said, Daniel said later in this season, in There Before the Grace of God, you're supposed to be living happily ever after with Ernest. So
but beyond that.
Nope.
Well, I'm assuming he just lived happily with her and then passed away nicely. Yep. So,
Yeah.
What more could you ask? Yeah, she's bitter. So bad for him. Give him a break.
Well, he's not getting it. He's still locked away in his mind, and she's upset. He walked through that thing, and he didn't even leave her a note.
No,
that's true.
He left her nothing.
Well, in that article that I was reading, the author suggests that Ernest believes the mental and physical torment that he underwent on this planet was punishment for his foolishness in risking his own life and leaving Catherine. So he probably thinks that she's forgiven him, even though it wasn't obviously her in the person that he was talking to. It was the imaginary version, but he thinks they've moved past it, and he's had this horrible life for 50 years, and it's at the point where he needs to move on. And it's just Not the way that it's happened to her, obviously.
Yeah.
I really do hate that, like, you know, that there was kind of shame around this experiment, that they, instead of like actively trying to do anything to help or tell people, you know, later on what happened, they just decided to cover it up and try and bury it. And it just really upsets me that they do that instead of actively help this man. Well, they didn't know what happened to him, but, you know.
Yeah, why didn't they just tell Catherine the truth?
Because her dad done goofed and didn't want to admit it.
Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, she was part of the program to a certain extent. And you know, her father was involved. You would have thought he would have been, like, just on the sly. He's dead.
I want to say as well, it was like, you know, 1940s. It still wasn't a great era to be a woman. So,
Anthony says, I found it baffling they never went back to the planet once they had Prometheus. That's true,
because they could have gone by ship and seen if everything was still there.
But to be honest, they didn't really need it anymore because they'd already made so many, so much progression with the races. They already knew who the races were, except the Furlings.
I've mentioned a little bit of this before, but I wrote a 6-book novel treatment about returning to Heliopolis.
Oh, really?
It's called Stargate Oblivion.
That actually sounds really fascinating.
Is it purchasable?
No,
or is it just your own little...
It's a treatment. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, you were about to say.
I put it on my Goodreads.
Yep.
So.
I was going to say, so Catherine suggests that Ernest didn't return home because of the broken DHD, but even if it was operational, do you think he would have known the return address for Earth?
No.
Yeah.
He could have studied the stars.
It wouldn't have done him any good anyway.
Yeah, he would have been lost. They stumbled on this address.
How did they happen to get this address and have it work, given that they hadn't made the calculations for planetary drift?
Because it's very close to Earth.
Drift, yeah.
Okay. I assumed that would be the case, but I wasn't sure if it was just another situation of they just had to make excuses again.
Yep.
So did they use the MALP and just sort of eyeball the DHD?
Yes,
but not
they saw the back of it.
At the front of it?
Yeah. They got confirmation of its presence.
Yeah, they didn't realize the damage. I hope now they take the MALP and actually shove it right up in the DHD to make sure it's all there and good, you know? I love that they just did Thor's hammer.
Mm-hmm.
This is a nice little continuation.
Yeah.
There's the ancient.
I think I read somewhere that it was only supposed to be, it's only been 6 months since the Children of the Gods.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
The ancient is like stacked like books in this episode.
Yeah, isn't it like, you know, just like not like that in the future?
It's meant to be read like, from left to right, top to bottom.
Yeah.
So it's font substitution. That's all it is. I can teach you how to read it. So it's just English. Yeah.
Which one is the Nox and which one's the Furling?
I don't know. I think that is Nox on the right there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But that is so cool.
It really is awesome.
Still
I kind of want a nightlight that does that. So apparently, Daniel says that the holograms represent certain elements because of the number of electrons, which is apparently incorrect.
Oh.
The number of protons determines the element. But I'm not into chemistry, so.
And I know nothing. So.
Yeah. Also, he says that there was 90 elements in the periodic table. But there was actually 94 in 1945.
Oh.
But it could have been more of like a general sort of sweeping statement. He might not have been
just
up to date.
Rounding.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many are there now?
I was going to say, have we found any more?
I don't actually know. I didn't look that bit up.
Shall I Google it?
I'm doing it.
Why not?
Okay.
118.
Oh, wow. I found 7 more.
Found 7 more. Yeah.
That's nuts. That's just nuts.
Progress marches on.
Well, I don't think we'll ever finish figuring out the world.
Yep.
Oh, I watched a terrifying video. I can only describe it as cosmic horror, even though it was just science, about the limits of what we can actually achieve in our entire existence as a species. And it made me very uncomfortable. I was like, I see we have limits. I like the idea that we don't have limitations and discovery is forever, but it's not.
I think we do end up as energy. I think that's
that I don't mind.
Being separated from your mortal coil. Okay.
it's well, that's just life, isn't it? It's the idea that like apparently with the way that stars are going and progressing throughout the universe because of the Big Bang, there's certain limits of how far we can actually travel, how much of the galaxy we can actually explore as a species before, we reach like the limit. And I was like,
So they're talking about in the chat how the United Nations was founded in 1945, which is 100% correct. So
is it?
So Ernest basically suggests that this meeting place was like the United Nations, but the United Nations Charter was signed in June of 1945 and was reinforced in October. So Ernest must have either traveled through the Stargate between October and December, or he wouldn't have been familiar with that term.
The lovely Erica has just messaged me on Facebook privately to let me know which font is the Nox font. And it is the one with all the little like triangle boomerang.
Oh, interesting.
Thank you, Erica. Appreciate you.
Of course Erica knows that.
Which is Mama Nox.
There we go. So I was wrong.
That's okay.
Well, to be fair, it's never confirmed on screen.
Yes.
That's true.
You'd have to be a Nox to know. And Erica is one, so.
Unless the Furling font appears in season 6, I don't think it does. Maybe it does. We'll have to see. So.
In several years when we get there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever the Stargate, like they try to dial it in a bad situation, and it doesn't work, it gets me all excited because you know everything's about to go real bad.
I get a little thrill when Teal casts a dial it manually.
Oh yeah, me too. Like 1969, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love when this happens. I love Solitudes when they're constantly trying. I love the noise that it makes. It kind of reminds me of when the Millennium Falcon doesn't want to start and Harrison Ford's always having to whack it.
Oh, that rock over there. Did you see the rock wiggling? It's like that is not that
styrofoam.
It's not a rock.
100% styrofoam.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Akash said it appears in Paradise Lost. Thank you.
There we go. Spank me, Rosie.
The we're all in deep doo-doo faces.
Exactly.
The Asgard.
Thor. We just watched that.
Yep.
Say it. So excited him to say it. He's going to say it.
There we go.
My little
so exciting.
Thor was an alien? Oh, yeah. That's another story.
That's cute.
Oh, you know what? I said that like Catherine's like the one thing I wish they brought back in the show. Nah, Nicholas Ballard, my dudes with his giant aliens. Come back.
The giant aliens. That just has a nice ring to
accent.
it. Dutch. I think he's Dutch.
Yeah, I think if you're watching this, I'm sorry for the spoiler. I won't point out what episode that is. You can find out.
Oh, at this point, everyone, is inside baseball on this one.
Jeff said he might tune into this one, so I was like, I'll try and limit what I say.
Well, that's yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to put disclaimers. 100% spoilers.
Yeah, it's the only way to go.
That's basically
electrical outlets.
They got one, but it doesn't have a plug socket. Yeah.
The lines on the floor.
Big brain.
Yeah.
At least he had something to do while he was on this planet for 5 years without
God,
any
he's
company.
so smart.
Yeah, and that would have helped keep him alive.
Exactly.
I would have gotten bored from my
giving him a sense of purpose.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. So basically, he's almost becoming Tantalus.
That's the point. Yeah. He's getting sucked in. It's like Indy at the end trying to grab the cup.
He's trying to grab something that's not within his grasp.
Yep.
Meaning of life stuff.
Uh-huh.
So someone on Reddit called this episode the one with the naked geriatric and the meaning of life stuff.
We should play a game at some point where we try to hint at each other what episode we're talking about by giving it the absolute worst descriptors. Using the AI I think that'd be great. I think it'd be really funny. Man. Yeah.
And this is once again, Daniel has a piece of technology that he needs to use, and he's like, okay, they're gonna blow it up.
One episode later,
here
again.
But at least they didn't make him shoot it this time, which I thought was really lame.
And at least it didn't work. That thing is indestructible until it falls into the ocean.
Correct.
Which you might not have, but
yeah.
You know.
We don't get clarification on that, do we? We just assume it's destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never go back. The Ben Franklin thing.
Ben Franklin thing.
I love that Jack's left field silliness comes in and helps. What I love is that both like SG1 and Atlantis both have hey, we're going to use the electricity from the storm in order to save the day. Because they do it with the
they reference
hurricane.
This episode in that episode.
Yeah, when I watch it, I'm always like, oh, what a great episode you're referencing, and then doing your own kind of spin.
You got to love throwbacks, like
episodes
that are connected to one another. It's great.
Yeah,
it's a good thing they bought all that cable.
I do really love whenever like literally when Stargate has these kind of not natural disaster moments, but you know, like when it's nature that's coming for you, it's always really cool. Like Atlantis has that cool volcano one, and it has the underwater one with the whales, and it's like, yeah.
Here's the reference.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Tell that to humanity.
And stupid. Please stop beating yourself up, my dude.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Now that he's acknowledged it, now she's going to come the other part of the way to him. At least he still has his mind. So it would have been really shame if they came to him and there was nothing left.
It's just a miracle, really.
Yeah.
I like that he's the one who's got to convince them.
Take this to the roof and don't get struck by lightning when you do it.
Yeah.
Now that that's there.
Also, when you see the shot of the roof, I crack myself a little bit. I'm like, Jesus, that is too high and wet. How did you do that?
Visual effect.
To Ernest.
And there you go. Right. I say this all. Yes.
I mean, he's still got a quest to try and save Shah-Ray.
I want to give a big thank you to all the people in history who did the brave thing of like basically sacrificing themselves for learning things. But like, man, you know, they gave up, you know, life and all these other things they could have discovered for that one big thing. I respect it.
The ultimate sacrifice for knowledge.
I'm glad that Daniel learns to be a bit selfish and, you know, go home.
The scale of the helmet is a little wrong.
It's very big.
But it works.
I think it's courageous and stupid, so you're both right.
It's both.
I just love how
heroic.
Ernest has so much.
Yeah.
Ernest has so much perspective now. It's great.
I always wonder if I'd be the kind of person to basically sacrifice myself for the greater good, you know? because I always watch this stuff and I'm always like, man, I think I just hide, run away.
Don't be silly. It's not worth it, buddy.
Yeah, this is real silly.
It's like the mirror of Erised, man.
Hmm.
But yeah, he has to, there he goes. All right. That's it.
Why didn't we see one of these again in like on another planet?
The central device?
Four races? Yeah, why didn't the four races have like a backup meeting place?
Because
there were millions of addresses, so I'm sure there are thousands of planets we've never found.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Cool shot.
It's a very cool shot.
Very cool shot.
Oh, good old styrofoam.
Styrofoam rocks. There. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Oh, the wormhole, everything, the drama.
It's a great ending to an episode.
I'm stressed, and I've already seen it so many times. So stressful.
Oh. Power
Gotta
fluctuation. Go, guys, go. Run.
Man, it'd be really crappy if this is the episode where the gate went all funny and spat them out in Antarctica. like they had like the worst day and they land in an even worse place.
Gary Jones. Oh yeah, it's not gonna. Yeah, you're stuck. Yeah. And even if you did, you wouldn't want to send a human back through.
No, you wouldn't.
It's one of those episodes that I want to like go on forever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would have been really good, like you said, if they were able to revisit the planet via a ship. But I guess
sure
that would almost be against the myth is about trying to reach something that's out of your grasp. So I guess if they revisited it, then it would kind of go back on that myth.
Especially if it's destroyed. There's no point. It's gone. So. Oh, yeah. They'll just be really cagey when we talk to them and tell us that we belong in our own time.
Yeah.
Or we need to get out of their house or, some such. They're always cagey. Catherine hugged me. Oh, happy family. I like these episodes. This one,
it's so dramatic. It's so fun. It gives you warm and fuzzies.
Warm and fuzzies. So good. This show is chicken soup.
It
chicken
really
soup
is.
for the soul. I had so much chicken soup because I've been sick. I've been having so. My mum was like, "Here."
Well, it's the cure all, right?
That's the point. It makes you feel good. Duncan Fraser as Professor Langford, and Paul McGillion as young Ernest.
The great Paul McGillion.
A fantastic piece of writing. I love that episode. It's a good one. It's
absolutely.
I would say definitively like top 10 episodes of Stargate ever. And you know what? And I know we keep bashing on about like not agreeing on stuff. This one we can definitely agree on is an absolute banger.
I don't know. You've given some pretty high scores so far to some pretty average episodes.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. You shut your mouth. No. Well, the thing is, I think season 1 overall has so many great episodes that are like introducing things. It's such an exciting season for me because I'm learning so much.
This is the foundation of all of the mythology for the show.
Which is why I love season
along with the fifth race, they hang together.
It's laying down a lot of the laws.
So,
yeah.
Got to appreciate it for that.
Absolutely.
Plus, like, the acting was great. I loved that it went back in time. I love like the archival footage.